Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sopo and I'm filming another quick sit-down video for you today. The video is gonna be about how to have a healthy relationship primarily with the food, how to have a healthy lifestyle, and avoid gaining unnecessary weight. So sort of 5 tips for you which I have made up for myself, which works for me and maybe will be somewhat inspiring or helpful for you as well. Just to put a disclaimer before I start filming the actual content and the tips, I want to say hereby that when I talk about avoiding gaining unnecessary weight, I am absolutely of the idea that there are a wide variety of body shapes, body sizes which look beautiful. What's important is that you feel healthy, you know that you are consuming healthy, that you feel best in your own skin, you feel beautiful, and that's what all counts. But if you are not happy with the eating routine which you are having, if you think that you are not eating good food, like good nutrients putting in your body, also you are not at a very happy place mentally because you're not happy with the way you look and think that you are having extra weight, which is not good health-wise as well, maybe those tips could help you to just balance your eating routine, feel healthier, feel more happy in your own skin. So the first tip for a healthy relationship to food and to staying fit, in my opinion, is to eat as much as you feel like eating. So don't constrain yourself with food. So a lot of people around me, I see that go into this negative space of cutting down their portions and not eating as much as they need. They are still hungry, so they're depriving themselves from certain amount of food for certain amount of time, or they are cutting on certain products. So just to cut it short, just dieting, which never turns out very good on a long term. I always see staying fit and stay healthy as a long-term process, as a lifelong process. And if you want to change your lifestyle, I don't think this is the good way to start with, because your body is like going into a crisis modus often when you cut down on lots of products or are staying hungry, and then once you start eating back, it will just gain all of those, put as a storage on your body in terms of a fat, and then it will be a lot more difficult for you to get rid of. I strongly believe that you have to consume good amount of food, healthy food, like proper food, not snacking in between, 3 times a day at least. In that sense, when you are consuming a good ratio of portions, you are not striving for things in between. You are also very happy and content because your body has fuel to process, and you're also building a mindset that you do not need to be hungry to look great or to be healthy. The second tip is connected with the first one, and it might sound a little bit contradictory for you at first, but actually it is not. I want to suggest you to be very, very mindful with regards to what you eat and how much you eat. I know a lot of people around me who are snacking in between meals just without thinking about it. Like, imagine when you're sitting in the cinema and eating the popcorn without even thinking about it, you consume the entire big box of it. Or even at home, you don't need to go to the cinema, like between different TV shows or while working, so many people just grab on things which they do not necessarily need, or when they are anxious or when they are emotionally unbalanced, they strive to get food and just eat it up. I think that this is a very, very nasty habit to get into, and also habits are very, very difficult to be taken out of us. So my suggestion would be to just be mindful, be present, and always think why you are doing whatever you are doing with regards to your food. Are you hungry? What is the cause of you constantly grabbing to those snacks or in between foods which you necessarily do not really need? So with that, I want to say that try to avoid overeating or emotional eating. which is not giving any favor to your body, neither to your soul, neither to your mental state. Third and very, very important tip, in my opinion, is making distinction for you between the good carbs and the bad carbs. So like the refined carbohydrates and the whole carbohydrates. I know that a lot of people thinking about losing weight and staying slim get into this mindset that they need to cut on their carbs, but you need to decide and make really a distinction which carbs you are cutting down. I think if you're cutting down on the whole carbs, you will get into this bad nasty habit, which I was talking in the tip 1 of snacking in between the meals, because you won't be full, you will be constantly feeling hungry. And you might persist that for a certain amount of time, for a week, for a month, but afterwards you will be starving for those, and you will go back and consume that much that your body will just store it up on the wrong places, which you don't want to do. Good carbohydrates are very, very important in our healthy eating routine. So like beans, sweet potatoes, lentils, oats, rice, brown rice, fruits, lots of fruits. Those all contain very, very important nutrients for our body, and they have to be part of our daily meals. Instead, you could cut on the pastries, you could cut on sodas, you could cut on breads, eating a lot of candies, which are the refined carbohydrates, and the sugars, which are not very, very good for you. This distinction is especially essential because it takes quite a lot of time for your body to break down the good carbs, and it just stays in your body in terms of energy longer in comparison to the bad carbs, which just give you this like trampoline of energy for a very, very short time, and then you feel very, very down pretty quick and need to refill this urge for energy again by eating those bad carbs. Getting out of this nasty habit and trying to balance your diet by good carbs is a very, very essential step, in my opinion, in a healthy relationship with your food. Fourth and very, very important point as well, in my opinion, is to be very forgiveful, is this a word, to yourself if you will cheat. Don't think that all your entire routine is ruined if you have once or twice failed yourself following your own set rules. We all are human, and I noticed that while doing sports as well, that I am in a good flow, I'm doing it, and then I have to drop once or twice, and I start to feel guilty about that. But I try to stop myself in that moment and say that nothing is lost. We are all humans, we have right to cheat, to have cheat days, to have good and bad days. And if you feel like eating bad carbs, if you feel like eating bad portions, if you cannot control your emotional eating one or another day, remember that another day is another opportunity, and just start all over. Important to have some sort of a balance. Like I always try to be 20% indulgent. When I feel like eating ice cream, I do that, but then I balance it out the same day by doing sports, by being a bit more active, by being also kind to myself and telling that you needed that ice cream. So be kind to yourself, be forgiving to yourself, but be also mindful and disciplined. The very last point, my dears, is about sports. This is not per se about the food, but I am a strong believer that in this entire process of being mindful, of being very balanced, also emotionally balanced, sport plays huge role. Now, saying that, I have to admit that until last year, when I actually started to do sports, I've never really done anything with regards to that. I was the laziest person alive, probably. I've never really done anything. I was taking elevator wherever possible, never really ran. Even at school, I was always skipping those physical activity classes. So that was really last year when I got the gym membership and got into this process slowly. I have to also admit that at the beginning I hated it, and what I want the point to make in this video is that think very important thing with regards to sports is to find a motivation. Doesn't matter where you find that. If you find that, that will be your source of recharging and starting to love the entire process. To stick with it, to be disciplined with it, I think it is important that you also start to like it at least. I found a girl online on social media, on Instagram I think, firstly, and then on YouTube, Pamela Rife. I think I've mentioned her everywhere on my Instagram, which I'm gonna put right here if you want to check. Then fell in love with her, simply looking at her day to day, push herself, do her thing, 20 minutes a day was somewhat so inspiring, because 20 minutes is not a whole lot of thing. It's just a very short amount of time which every single person can find if they are willing to. Together with her, I learned that it's about persistence, it is about discipline and doing it every single day. I do it right now 5 times a day and give myself a choice to have 2 days as a rest days. I also rotate different type of exercises. In the beginning I started it on my own, was not really following her schedule, because per day she focuses on certain muscle groups, and it was a bit too much for me to do 3 exercises one after another with regards to one group of muscles. I was just picking up the exercises which I found a bit easier for myself to get into. There was 1 or 2 occasions where I even like fainted while doing that, but I persisted with it. I knew that it was about building up my resistance, especially with regards to cardio, which was a weak point for me. I hated doing cardio, and now I must admit that I am always looking forward to do exercises with her. Good music, looking at a healthy, happy girl, being very inspirational in terms of like the way she looks, the way she lives, was a big topic and big push for me to get into my own routine. So I would say find whatever inspires you, find whatever pushes you to move, be active. Is it like jogging outside? Is it walking? Is it gym? Doesn't really matter. Find your own way and just pull through. Stay persistent, stay disciplined. I believe that discipline is a lot more important than the length and the difficulty of the exercises which you are carrying out. After all, it's not that your goal is not to be a sportsman, but just to be active, cut down those calories, burn those calories, sweat it out, which will help you as well to be in a very happy state of mind. That is it from my side, guys. Hope those 5 tips were somewhat useful for you and you will manage to incorporate that in your daily life. If you do, please let me know how it goes. If there is anything else which I have not talked about but you think is important in terms of a healthy lifestyle, please leave in the comment section down below. I'll be very happy to read through them and maybe incorporate in my daily life as well. Thanks for watching, stay on board. I'm posting 2 times a week and we'll be seeing you sometime soon.